But
well, now as he gets into game, he's almost grimacing.
Yeah, and if he wins, you're gonna see him smile ear to ear. It's really charming. In the top right-hand side, it is for Storm Gaming, Epic.
And his opponent, spawning down on the bottom left. For Alpha X, it is Future. Now, let's see how charming he can be. You know, is he going to charm us with a proxy 2 racks in a quick series? No, he's going to charm us with some macro play.
We'll see about that. Yeah, okay, it's a barracks first, actually. Neither player going for the gas first or any less greedy stuff that might have returns in the faster tech. So they are just chilling. Similar rooms as well. They could be in the same house.
Yeah, they absolutely could. You know, and maybe they are. We actually don't know. Yeah, they could literally be doing like a battleship style where it's like the 2 PCs are like literally next to one another. Mm-hmm. You know, it's possible.
Future does actually live with 2 other StarCraft players. They moved in together not too long ago. So.
Oh. Yeah. Which players does he live with?
I don't know if I can say. Like, I guess. Oh, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, it's classified.
Well, I don't know if it's classified, but I don't know if I can. Like, it's Jehefe.
Oh yeah.
Jehefe, my boy Jehefe, and Race. You know Race.
Oh, I do know Race. Yeah.
So I guess I decided that I can say. But yeah,
fair enough. Yeah,
they live together. They hang out. Some of them, have different jobs and stuff like that, and they still play games once in a while as well. But Future, I guess, is the one that has been playing the most StarCraft in recent history. I've gotten coaching from both Future and Jehefe in the Terran matchups.
Oh, very cool. Jehefe is quite good. He is a very competent player, and Raze used to be a very good Terran player himself, but since switched to Protoss in 2018, 2019 maybe? Mm-hmm. But he actually did pretty well in DreamHack Masters, I think 1 year, or possibly just in NA in a couple of tournaments, but wasn't able to break through. It was a 1-rack expand, by the way, out of Epic. And Future going for this proxy factory here. This is very surprising that he is then expanding behind this. I feel like this is so high risk and honestly not... Okay, he is going to proxy the Starport too. Okay. Then I like that a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So he's going to go probably for some sort of a drop, right, to follow this, I would imagine. Or do you think it's going to be something different? Actually, there's a tech club. Maybe Banshees.
Oh, wow.
Proxy Banshees.
Wait, no, this could be proxy. This would be proxy tanks. This could actually be just a proxy push, but he's getting an expansion, so I don't even know. Nice micro coming out of Future here, actually. Going to be able to get all of these units right here. Wow, this hit really hard, and he escapes the surround. Huge grenade. Future's getting so much work done.
Yeah, some magical Reapers right there by my young coach. And yeah, he should have gotten surrounded. I feel like Epic could have reacted a tiny bit faster. But regardless, really good start for Future, and maybe this will give him the momentum to start with that tank push that you were mentioning. He's still making the medevac, so might want to evacuate that Hellion if he can, so that he can go back into the main. I guess if the bunker's not loaded with anything, it's not a huge deal. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that it's a medevac and not a Viking, given the units that he's going for.
Yeah, that is a little bit surprising. I mean, the medevac is theoretically going to be better against the Cyclone. Ooh, can he bait this? Whoa. Oh, yes, he can. Oh, he's going to jump on it with the Reapers. He gets the kill, and he keeps both Reapers alive.
And that probably just pays off for his proxy already, right? So a really aggressive, really high risk, high reward that build order that is rewarding Future in the present tense. So let's see if he can keep it rolling. Now making a Viking after just the one medevac.
Yeah, this is looking so scary right now. We're even seeing the bunker getting attacked right here. Look at that hot pickup micro from the Reaper. Kills the bunker, no salvage. And if a tank gets in on the ramp, it's almost over.
It looks pretty darn bad for Epico. He's at half the supply of Future. Future at his natural expansion, and this is not even a null-in. Like you mentioned, Future already has an expansion. He already has the lead in terms of workers, so there was no coming back for Epic there. And Future, he felt it, man. Like, he is such a feeling-oriented player, not feeling in the emotional sense that like, you know, he'll like really like get like really feely, but rather that he goes off of intuition a lot of the time, and it is so interesting. Like Jehefe, another Terran player, his roommate, for example, very, very organized, meticulous, like a Terran player, like, you know, the epitome of Terran players. So when Jehefe coached me, he was like, okay, well, you're supposed to have 55 SCVs at this point, and you have 50, so that's what's wrong. And he would be like, okay, SCVs, 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 you know, and he would just kept telling me SCVs, 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 until I made more and more SCVs. And I became a better Terran player. But when I was playing with Future, it's like, it's more about like the micro. It's like, you're better, you're better, you're better, is what he says. You know, I'm like, I feel like I'm better. Like, he pumps you up. And that's probably how he thinks in his mind as well. And that's why he is such a, not just a micro-oriented player, but a very flashy micro-oriented player sometimes, right? Like, he's the type of player that will outplay, that will, quote unquote, ego other players and try to come out on top. So it's really fun to watch him play.
Yeah, it is, and we saw it with that push. That was a really, really effective push for a lot of reasons. It started with, you know, him getting a lot done with just a couple of Reapers and a Hellion that shows up, you know, quicker than normal. Epic isn't really expecting it. I don't know that even let him know that was a proxy yet at that point, because it's one of those things where it's such a minor thing that you might not even notice it, but it gets so much damage done. And then from there, it's, you know, it's the Future show. As we have spawning up in the top left for Alpha X, it's Future.
And in the bottom right for Psystorm Gaming, it is Epico.
And this is a tough position for him to now find himself in, down 1-0 in a situation where he really never got a chance to play the game, so to speak. Like, nothing he did, it felt like, had any effect on that game, you know?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah, you're right. He didn't really get much of a chance to play the game, right? Like, just maybe could have reacted faster when the Reapers get in trying to get the block and kill those Reapers. That would have been huge. But yeah, he didn't scout the proxies. He didn't see it coming. He overexposed the Cyclone, not to his fault, right? It was just the fact that Future had this planned out and the Cyclone got baited out. And yeah, a beautiful snowball there on the side of Future. And yeah, Epic is going to try to take some control here and get some agency going his way.
Yeah, and kudos to Future for coming in, showing up super prepared, taking control of that game from minute one, and just having such a great game plan for this first one. And I have to wonder now, does he have more tricks up his sleeve? I hope so.
I hope so. And that was a pretty interesting trick. Also, like, gotta highlight the medevac is weird, right? Like, it's like you made a starport and then you choose to make a medevac. More often than not, it's gonna be to say drop the first two Hellions and the Reapers inside your opponent's main and try to do some economic damage, or have a plan to use it to drop, right? Because otherwise you forgo so much of the utility. But that is just how much stock Future puts in out microing his opponent, right? Because the medevac does have that potential of like picking Marines one at a time, repositioning tanks a little bit faster, and obviously the sustain from the heal. But yeah, just the fact that he kind of forgoes one of the bigger strengths of the medevac in the potential for drop and still thinks that it's worth it really speaks to, you know, his approach to the game, I think.
Yeah, and it shows like you said, a supreme amount of confidence. Speaking of which, so does this. He actually, okay. That was. I think that actually was just straight up RNG as to whether whoever wins that fight. But going not only up into the main base and sniping off the SCV just before his opponent's factory completes, but then additionally committing to the fight right there. And I mean, he should probably know that it is RNG, but he was confident. He was like, yeah, you know what? No, I think I win this fight. And he knows now that the reactor was like on the way, so he's going to try and dart in once again. But yeah, I can't get anything more with this.
Yeah, I've actually wondered about that because it's a situation that happens often. Like, less so with Reapers, perhaps, where most likely one player is going to look to disengage, and more often than not, you know, you can tell who shot first type thing. But in this situation, Epic gets just a little bit of room and then re-engages, and you know that they're both one shot from falling. Nice job from Future there, picking that SCV off. But yeah, like it happens more often than not for me, at least in worker fights, right? Where you turn around and you try to kill the last SCV or drone or probe or whatever is fighting against each other when they have 5 HP and you don't know which one's going to win. Do you think it's actually just RNG? Or is there actually an element of I turned around and attacked faster or something like that? I've never actually looked into it.
There is unit turn radius as we see this Reaper getting picked off after picking off another couple of SCVs. Nice little SCV lead for Future. There is a bit of RNG to it, but also units do have a turning radius. So like, for example, MaxPax has figured out in Phoenix versus Phoenix Wars, he has figured out a way to micro the Phoenixes in such a way that they always face forward. I don't know how he does it exactly. And my prevailing theory is that he's a fully functioning AI. But he's found a way to make that happen and makes it so that the Phoenix shoot just a little bit faster, and he wins almost all of the Phoenix versus Phoenix wars I see him in as a result of it. So there is some micro you can do, but with a lot of units, they turn too quickly for that to be a factor.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't a factor here with the Reapers. I mean, when they're like, yeah, I know I said turn, but I meant when they're facing each other and you don't know which one's gonna attack faster. I don't know if there is a way to know.
There isn't a way to know, but there is a reason that the RNG is, there's a way that the RNG is calculated so that it's consistent.
Okay.
It's the unit that was built first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the unit that's older on the map. So if you send one of your first workers, actually, this is very handy information for you personally.
Yeah.
If you send one of your first workers, it will attack. Yes, exactly. It's stronger than.
Actually, crazy. I never knew that.
Yeah, it's a super weird fact that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, maybe Ravi should make a useless fact about that one.
That would be a good useless fact, and more useless or useful than a lot of his facts.
I don't know. He has a lot of useful, useless facts, I feel like.
That's actually very true. Like most of them are pretty useful. They're certainly not 99% useless.
Yeah.
But it has a better ring than like 86% useless fact. 7 SCVs going down to this Cloak Banshee play out of Epic. So Epic getting a really, really nice equalizing move. Oh, we do see the scan and the Cyclones picking off that Banshee there. But anytime you have to use a scan after you've lost that many SCVs while you've got a Raven, it's not fun. You don't want to have to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, where's the player webcams? What happened?
Oh, they've been... Oh. We can only assume they've gone into the game physically, like reboot.
That must be it. All right. Well, this game is going to kind of stabilize. Future still has a little bit of an advantage. Worker-wise, it is just about perfectly even. And yeah, actually, supply-wise, Epic is just catching up as we speak. So Future will have a slightly faster third, and in terms of he is, or feels like he is, able to move out a little bit faster. So maybe he can set up a contain. I don't know that he can do much more than that. He does have the extra Raven to work with, though.
He's actually got 2 extra Ravens. I think he's leaving one of them at home.
Oh, he does.
3 Ravens to 1 is a gigantic advantage, especially if he can keep these alive through the mid game. Ooh, that one Marine did see the reinforcements, didn't see the proper army. Epic, though, does get the quick siege on that one tank. That's very important. The missile turret in the main mineral line is not yet done. Future is going to get it completed, and the Banshee was kind of shift queued in right there, so it's right on top of it. It ends up taking a fair bit of damage, but he will find a kind of sweet spot right now. Future kind of hesitating in the middle of the map. This is really, really big damage.
Yeah, really annoying Banshee. There are 6 SCVs and delaying the frontal push. Of course, there's going to be a couple of Vikings eventually rallied here to deal with it. One pops up already. The scan is a little silly there from Future and ends up actually missing it. So not the best placed scan there. Not nearly in the middle of the Banshee, but anticipated that it would run upwards. But of course, upon seeing the scan, Epic can choose not to. And this is the contain that I was talking about. I think that this is good because Future is situating his triangle third a little bit faster. So Epic is going to be forced to take his other third by the looks of it. But at the very least, this delays things.
Yeah, and it's a wise decision from Epic, but like you said, it does still give an advantage here. We are going to see an attack coming on in. The double interference matrix will get a lot done. Not the move from Epic coming down the ramp here. He tries to drop some interference matrices of his own, but actually, you know what? They will allow his tanks enough time to come out of the little lullaby.
Yeah, but it's still a one-for-one trade of the tanks. So it's all of those Marines for 1 extra tank, or what would have been 1 extra tank if they didn't go down the ramp. So not ideal. And even I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it would have died, right? Otherwise, but I'm not even sure if there was a tank in range to kill it on the side of Future. Regardless, Future is gonna reposition here and try to hit this base instead. Remember, he does have 3 Ravens now all over here, and now with a greater Marine count, he's gonna feel confident enough to move on forward. The Vikings are gonna provide extra damage against the mech units on either side as they both land theirs. And now Future micros away, but as the tanks unfreeze on the side of Epic, I think Future's just gonna have to respect that and relax a little bit.
That was a pretty big overcommitment, I think, out of Future right there. He drops the interference matrices, and he expects that that fight goes really well for him because of that. But I think he underestimated the landed Vikings. He underestimated that one tank that we see at the bottom of the screen right now that has 7 kills for Epic. And he ends up losing all of his Ravens. He loses a lot of initiative, and Epic is right back in this game now. Future forgot his +1 infantry weapons. Oh, this is a rough situation. But Epic did forget his armory, so I mean, I guess it could be a lot worse.
So what happens if 2 of the original the original workers fight? Because there's 12 to begin.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure. Then maybe it truly is RNG.
Yeah, I mean, they do spawn in a set order every time as an L shape, right? Like surrounding the command center hatchery or nexus and facing forward towards the mineral. So I wonder if there is an order to that L shape, like top to bottom or something.
This is a huge move right here. We see that the missile turret was trying to be built as this comes in. Nice target position on that reactor. Going to be limiting the Viking production. Future, oh my god, no, he doesn't get out. No way. Oh, that medevac with so little HP. A slight gust of wind and it would have fallen over, but Future manages to get out with the majority of these Marines after a really nice surgical strike.
Yeah, beast. And I mean, that is the MacGyver type of plays that we see from Future, right? Like, he is really surgical and he will play with fire. He loves doing that. Also, I want to give props to our observer Najal, also known as Nial, for catching all of the action there. 3-pronged aggression, not easy to keep up with this player. So hashtag thanks Nigel. It's NJAL in chat, please.
Makes me think of Nigel when you say it that way, like a British person. Oh, this is not a good situation right here for Epic. He misses the entire army of Future, and Future, actually, this might just turn into a base trade right away.
Yeah, it has to at this point. Epic cannot pull back. It is a little bit too much damage that he would take in the process, so it has to turn into a base race. Future is going to very smartly go straight into the main base of Epic. Epic has to pull SCVs here just to mitigate the amount of forces that are going to go into the main and to protect for his tank. The tank will eventually fall. At the same time, Epic recognizes that this is the move that he also has to go for. Already a tank siege also for Future in his main, knowing that Epic is very likely to ignore the natural base and already floating buildings away his Future. I would give him a slight lead, except for the fact that he is not mining. So big supply advantage. I think Future still has a huge edge, but yeah, Epic does have that third. If he can maybe get some buildings going, there's a slight chance.
I mean, I don't know. This looks pretty rough to me. There's a lot of tanks right here for Future. He's doubling his opponent's Marine count. He has the Viking lead, which means that as they run out of scans, things become infinitely more difficult here for Epic. And it is looking like Future is in a phenomenally good position. The best chance, I think, for Epic right now is that Future doesn't realize how good of a position he's in, and he doesn't push the issue. But that's not what's going to happen. He's just going to go.
Yeah, this is smart from Epic, trying to basically identify what his advantage is, which is in the economy, and brings back his entire army. So if Future doesn't realize or just straight up walks into the army of Future with siege tanks, then Epic can reclaim some advantage. But Future's not going to give him that. And so Epic not able to kind of siege the third of Future that's now well established as well right there is not favorable either, right? Like, if Epic would have done this exact move but left one medevac out, killing that third, or the SCVs at the third, maybe there's a chance. But now we're talking about disadvantages on all fronts. As Future didn't walk into this straight up, he also has the economic lead moving forward, and, you know, more buildings and better production and everything that he needs. So it is a Future game.
Since he wasn't able to... Oh, Future, please, no, kill all the depots. Oh, I was just about to make a point about he has control of his opponent's main and natural, so he can kill all those depots for free. and massively supply block Epic. But I suppose he says, you know what, I'm in a good enough position as it is. I don't want to get my army caught in the main. Oh, he's going to somehow find this random drop too. It will escape on out. So good quick reaction time from Epic. But I mean, like, to quote a great man, Luca Di Supply, this is a horrendous situation for Epic.
Yeah, I love that Epic decided eventually to go with that one medevac to search for the third, or to actually, like, I guess he had already confirmed that there was a third mining with his Marine, but yeah, that medevac would have been great to have out from the beginning, or not to have brought back to give himself a shot, but not going to be the case. One tank is going to get caught in the middle of nowhere here. 2 tanks sieged in the back, but that means Future can still siege a lot of this orbital command and this forward barracks. And with with air control, like you were mentioning, these Liberators are also going to be king. So it looks like a 2-0 Future. This is just a waiting game. And yeah, I feel a little bit bad for Epic. And I feel like we won't get to see his smile today. Can he still make it out?
I think he can, but things get a lot more difficult for him. Like, way more difficult. He has to win tomorrow first and foremost, and then I think some other weird stuff has to happen, but this was his cleanest route forward. As we see the Liberators pushing forward, they're going to be able to take down all the tanks. Epic, I don't think he realized how bad of a spot he is in. Otherwise, he probably would have tapped out by now. Yeah, I think as he sees this army, yeah, I think you're right. He's probably going to face the music very quickly.
Yeah. I mean,
he might be thinking that because he has the small upgrade advantage, because he has that +2 armor, that maybe he can make a miracle happen. And he's still looking for moves, but Future's answering them at every turn. And yeah, this is going to be the decisive fight.
That's it.
There it is. GG gets called.
Yeah, needed 2 or 3 miracles in a row there.